strange November. You know, day to day, you get up in the morning, you have to look and see the temperature because you just don't know how to dress to start the day.
3 Novembers in one. I mean, you think about how mild it was the first half of November, and then we had that little winter event that kind of made, okay, here comes winter, and then it backed off and went the other way.
So yesterday it was like 45 degrees in the morning. Today about 25.
Yeah, it keeps you guessing. It's interesting on your heat system too. It's like, all right, you know what, I'm just going to set it and see what happens. And when it kicks in, it kicks in. And now it is chilly. We were starting in the 20s in a lot of spots this morning, teens into the mountains. We're in the mid-30s now, which is below average for this time of the year. But the sun makes it feel nice, and there's a lot of that out there. Just a few clouds into southern York County and more so into the northeast kingdom of Vermont. But the vast majority of us will stay sunny through the rest of the afternoon, which of course becomes kind of a short window this time of the year. What's the rest of the afternoon? In Bangor till 3:57, right? And here's our next storm system. And this is an interesting system because it has similarities to Sunday night's storm. It's just a cold front with a warm front up here, but it's a little bit stronger. And so as it comes through, I think we'll see some stronger winds and perhaps some heavier rain. Before we get there, clouds come in tonight. Temperatures stay pretty flat, around 30 degrees, around upper 20s across northern Maine. But it's quiet, and it's quiet the first half of tomorrow too. And we get warmer into the mid-40s in a lot of spots before the rain arrives. This model's a little faster than others. It has it coming in around 2 or so over western Maine, and then by 4 o'clock it's into the mid-coast. Other models are a little bit slower. Either way, afternoon into the evening, rain starts to move in, and it's pouring pretty hard here, I think, through the first half of the night. And see this area right here with the darker shades of oranges and reds? That's the actual front, and along there we'll focus not only some downpours, but also the strongest winds. So this is 7 o'clock. You'll see it move into the mid-coast 8, 9 o'clock, and then 10, 11 o'clock over down east Maine. Notice this is almost exclusively rain, a little snow in the back end of the mountains, but I do not think it will offset the amount of rain and wind they'll get, the amount of melting that will happen before that. So the winds are the real story, and so I took the models and kind of massaged them a little bit and made this map of where I think the wind gusts will likely be strongest, and that will be the mid-coast into down east Maine, gusts up to 60 miles an hour there. In the orange color, we've got 45 to 55 with another max into the mountains, just terrain-driven stuff there, in between 30 to 45 miles an hour. Plus side, no leaves on the trees. That helps us a lot with the amount of drag and the amount of power outages. Minus side, these are strong winds, so I do think we'll see some power outages tomorrow night, especially along the coastline and again into the mountains. Now, as far as rainfall goes, an inch, inch and a half is likely. We will have to watch for some ponding there with some heavier downpours. So that's our overall pattern, and as we look into the weekend, there's kind of another one. Probably not as strong, but another rain event on Saturday where the front is way up in Canada, and if you believe the long-range models, another one next week. So that's kind of where we're living at, waiting to see the battle that occurs, Pat, between the large-scale pattern that wants to be wintry next week and the pattern we're in right now, which apparently does not want to be wintry. So we'll see where that lands. In between, by the way, we do have some nice days. Thursday and Friday are pretty nice, and Sunday is good as well. It's just every couple of days we're kind of getting a rain and wind storm, just to different degrees.
December will figure things out for itself.
Yeah, and it's when, as I like to say, snow is an all-time popularity high in December, so we'll see if we can connect on a few there.
Thanks, Keith.